So today we're talking about miniature circuit breakers, or MCBs. That's a very common product here at Ellis Electric, and something that we get calls about quite a bit here in tech support. So this is just a itinerary of what the webinar is going to be about. We're going to talk about product history and just a general overview of the LSC products. We're going to talk about protection basics and how to find products in the catalog. We're also going to talk about features and benefits, as well as specifications and some of the accessories that go with them, as well as thermal trip curves and how to find the CAD files. So we're just going to dive in. So as you can see, MCBs have been around quite a bit. They started in 1970, and they've evolved. Different standards, different places developed them, both in Europe and the US. And with that, you've got things like UL and IEC and things like that, and 1077 and UL 489. We'll talk about all that moving forward. But it's a device that's been around for well over 50 years now. As you can see, in 1979, Mitsubishi, Fuji helped create some of the first contactors and overloads, and it sort of merged into where we are now. We worked on things like Metamec MMSs. We've got Susol MCCBs, both Susol and Metasol. And now, 2015 and beyond, we've got the UL MCBs with 1077 and UL 489. Those work off of DC power relays. We also have Susol 489B DC disconnect switches and quite a bit more. So here's just a general overview of our electrical products. We carry everything from molded case circuit breakers up to 1200 amps, magnetic contactors and overload relays up to 2650 amps. We do DC power contactors, electric motor protection relays, disconnect switches, air circuit breakers, and some of those can get pretty big, as you guys know, and then miniature circuit breakers. So let's talk about the miniature circuit breakers, the UL listed miniature circuit breakers. Those are suitable for residential and industrial applications. They use AC and DC. A UL 49 comes with a service entrance, feeder, and branch circuit protection, while UL 1077 has supplementary protection for appliances or other electrical equipment. They protect against overloads and short circuits, and come with accessories like auxiliaries and shunts and UVTs. We carry B, C, and D trip curves and safe mounting ability, including DIN rails and dual connections, as well as box lug and ring tongue terminals. All of our miniature circuit breakers meet UL, CUL, and IEC standards. But again, if you've got a more specific question with that, feel free to reach out to us, and we'll see whether or not the breaker that you're looking for fits your needs and is UL and IEC. So let's go over some basics of electrical protection devices. The fuse will go off in the event of a short circuit. If the fuse is blown, it has to be replaced. Miniature circuit breakers are typically found in residential or small industrial applications, typically under 100 amp, and they provide overload and short circuit protection. If the MCB is not broken or damaged after tripling, you can just reset it. It's very easy and typically works much better than a fuse depending on your use case. Molded case circuit breakers work with much higher amperage. As you can see, they go up to 1200 amps and used for mostly industrial applications. They provide the same basic functionality as an MCB, but because they're larger, they're going to be able to do a bit more, and they've got more electrical functions. The air circuit breaker has higher capacity circuit breaker than the MCCB, and they go all the way up to 5,000 amp. Those are used for main power distribution in large industrial applications, where breakers are arranged in rod enclosures for ease of maintenance. We actually work with quite a bit of ACBs, and if you call us up and talk to like John Lee, you know that we work with ACBs as well. We've got quite a lot of products in that range. So what exactly is a miniature circuit breaker? A miniature circuit breaker is commonly used in low voltage electrical networks in place of fuses. As we've said, they provide overload protection. And this is just a diagram of just how they work on the inside. I know they look big and daunting, but how it works actually makes quite a bit of sense. We're in the contact, and just the general operating mechanism. There's also an arc chamber and thermal protection bimetal to move the dial. All of that is used for overload protection. Short circuit protection is done through electromagnetically operated from a coil or a solenoid. So there's quite a lot going on within the miniature circuit breaker despite its size. So miniature circuit breakers really depends on what type you have. UL 489 are used typically in service entrances or feeders. They've got various load types, including VFDs. UL 1077s also provide supplementary protection for other appliances or electrical equipment. Those are typically used in PLCs or relays or things like that. Also make sure that UL 49 is very typically used in HVAC, we found as well. So just keep an eye on what you're using. If you've got appliances or sensitive devices, UL 1077 is definitely where you want to go. Typically, we see UL 49, but there are plenty of use cases for UL 1077 as well. So this is repeats. As you can see from our lineup, we've got a rated voltage. We do 120, 240 volt AC and 60 volt DC single pole, and then 125 volt 2 to 3 pole DC and 480Y 277 volt up to 25 amp AC. We do B, C, and D trip curves with a breaking capacity of 10 Ka. And you've got a couple other choices as well. As you can see, the DC is dual rated. The DC dual rated for AC or DC. So let's see. And here's how you find. Here's how you can find your product through our catalog. As you can see, that it's set up much like our VFDs. A lot of it is laid out in the model number. The 1 pole stands for what pole you need to use. It goes up to 3. The B, the trip curve, you got B, C, or D. The amperage, the breaking capacity, and the operating voltage are all pretty much laid out. Really, the series is where you might run into the most trouble, but it's fairly straightforward. UL 1077 lineup goes all the way up to 240 volt single pole, 480Y 277 4 pole. Same thing, also has B, C, and D trip characteristics and can be fitted on a 35 millimeter DIN rail. The lug terminal works on cables up to 4 AWG. So as we looked at before, the 1077 Pro is basically the same model as the UL 489. Really not a whole lot of surprises here. Just gotta know what you're looking for, and that will become a lot clearer. So here we go. Here are some of the benefits of the MCB. Our MCBs, they've got an indication window, so you can really tell whether or not it's on or off, which again is crucial in operating. You can have ring tongue or box lug terminal. And as you can see by the DIN rail mounts at the bottom, it's easy to install and remove without much hassle. And our certifications are below. We do both UL and IEC. So we're not going into too much detail into specifications because there's quite a bit. But as you can see, this is the variety of UL 49 miniature circuit breaker that we have. It is a lot of stuff we've already talked about, but you've got quite a number of choices. And we're going to look at the UL 1077 next, pretty much the same thing, except it comes in 4 pole. And yeah, these are generally what they look like in their approximate size. They also come with a number of accessories, including shunt trips and auxiliaries and things like that. We've run into auxiliaries quite a bit. They've got 1-pole, 2-pole, or 3-pole, and they tell you how to set that up on the diagram. So here's our numbering system. We went over this a couple slides before, but just to reiterate how it works, because it can sometimes definitely get confusing. And this is how you connect it to an accessory. Go where the finger's looking. That's your key, because a lot of you ask about accessories, and then this should clear that up just a little bit as to whether or not you want UL 1077, UL 49, you want an auxiliary switch or alarm switch, a shunt trip, or an undervoltage trip device. We carry all of those. And we actually have a catalog shortcut that you can go to in our Google Drive. I realize you can't access that now, but if you email us, we'd be happy to send you that link. And this is just an example of the trip curves for UL 489. And again, here's an example of our bus bars that we have, accessories for the MCBs. As you can see, we have quite a few of the bus bars. We've got cuttable bus bars, top feed terminals for 1-pole. We've got a number of accessories for these, giving you quite a lot of options. And we've got a good manual to help you install them. A lot of these specs can be found within the catalog, but tech support is here and happy to help you install them along the way. And we've got dimensions and CAD drawings for these also available. As you see, you can scan the QR code in this link, or if you email us or check our knowledge base, we have quite a number of CAD drawings available. And as you can see, the bus bar is cuttable, but it does need an end cap. This is what we have really in stock as of March 2023. And this is just an example of the accessory that we have with an item code. I know this is quite a bit of information. This webinar will be available online and ready for you within the next day or two. So if whatever you miss now will be available later. And as we said, CAD drawings are available upon request. We're trying to make them more available online, but that's an ongoing process. So if you just give us a call or send us an email, we can find the CAD drawings of the specific model that you're looking for. You can reach us, at our phone number and email, which many of you know. And I also recommend checking out our knowledge base, because there's quite a bit of information in there as well. Thank you for attending this presentation, and it will be posted soon. Thank you and have a great day.